must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
The entire last week and the weeks before, corruption and the subject of corruption seem to have come back to haunt Kenya. It is indeed sad that today people emerge with millions and millions of shillings to give out goods, in form of goods, form of money itself. When the government has been saying there are people who have corruptly got this money. If you are given the permission, if you are given a job, an assignment as a government officer, why is it that you have, instead of serving, you have decided to steal? Why do you steal from the same people? Then recycle what you have stolen back to them in hand mills and parks. Why don't you allow this money to help the general population of the people of Kenya? Corruption, therefore, must be fought. If you are a lawyer, you are an advocate of the court. You therefore must follow court ethics. That money that you get from your client is from the right channel, and your client has not corrupted corrupted you. If you come before the altar of justice with your client having corrupted you, paid you money, then you must refund that money. Believe me or not, the lawyers who have taken this...
With regard to corruption, we will continue to fight, regardless of what will be
to be here today to participate with my brothers and sisters in this very important forum when we are reflecting and thinking about our country. When we are thinking about our country, we are thinking about ourselves, our people at home, and the generations to come. Mine is to assure you that we are doing our best as far as investigations are concerned. But at the same time, we do have quite a number of challenges, though they have not reached a point of dispiriting us, or rather demotivating us. We are trying to say that I wish everybody in this war of corruption may come on board. One thing I can say is, even before we go for some investigations outside there, some of the frustrations which really pull us down is some of the strange orders that we receive. Other than even starting the investigation, we are stopped even before we record a statement from somebody who you know very well are stolen from Kenyans. You know very well, and all Kenyans know, We are pursuing this person, and it's not something we're imagining. We all know, and we cannot lie to ourselves, surely, and everything can show. But we are stopped even before questioning that person. And when we received some of those sonders, like another one which I received just the other day, I was not even at the stage of even pursuing that person whatsoever. Then when the Hondas came, I read them very well. Do not use the door to go and arrest Mr. Hay. Then I said, okay, why is this preemptive? Then I said, fine, I consulted my regular advisors, they are here. And then I said, no, through my information, there is a window. If I cannot use the door to go and take Mr. Hay, then I'm going to use the window. And once I get through the window, I get a smoking gun, which is killing us. Just smoking, just immediately from murdering us Kenyans. When you steal from us, the hospital money, loans money, development fund for this country, what do you think you are? You are not better than that terrorist you are battering there in the Dusit and other areas. Then, immediately, faithfully carrying our smoking gun, then what happened? We are told, don't dare, don't even bring this smoking gun here. Don't even touch that person. We are bad. Please listen to me. I have it here. Why don't you give me 10 minutes even to demonstrate I'm not malicious? Surely this is what I have. Then if I am, prove me within these 10 minutes. Nobody is ready to listen to us. What I can say is, thank you for prayers and support from Kenyans. I know very well that issue of mafia in Italy. It was completely almost replica, the capture of the mafia. The way the war was won, and the people's cry, they were wiped and dry their tears. It was through the corrective working and bravery of their police, prosecution, and judiciary. When most of them, they are homicide, and then the police said, no, enough is enough. Our people have cried enough. Let's go to fight for our people. In as much some of them were still with the mafia. It was massacre. They said it's okay, let's die, but for the world cause of our people. The prosecution came on board and said, no, equally we hear the cry of our people. Let's join the war. They joined the police, the prosecutors. Then the judiciary came and said, no, then we shall not be left. They came on board. The war was won for their people, ultimately. We can say, equally in Kenya, we can take the cry of our Kenyans and say, this greed, these millions we are stealing every day, start them in bank, there are papers, we shall read them in this world. Let us say, what is enough for us is what God has given us. And the moment we say collectively, we are going to fight this war together, I can for sure tell you, this country is beautiful, it has plenty for each and every one of us. And I can for sure we shall have peace of mind. And even during our last days when they do come, even that billionaire and all that, you will be smiling, knowing if there is heaven, me, I'm a Christian, I believe there is one. At least then have a space after the one hereafter. So that one is to say, continue supporting us, praying for us. We shall do our very best, and we shall give all that we have for the sake of our motherland. Thank you.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome to Panelists Africa Television, broadcasting all the way from Nairobi, the Republic of Kenya. From Miriam in Nairobi, good morning.
A very good morning to you, Doctor, and a very good morning to our viewers and the rest of the panelists.
This is Punchline Africa Television from the Political Command Center of Punchline Africa Television, miles away from Nairobi. Thank you very much. Good morning, all of you viewers watching us. This is Kenya Today. And Kenya Today, we shall go straight to the topic and the questions. Miriam, over to you to read for us the questions.
All right, thank you so much. So in Kenya today, we shall be looking at, are you happy with how agencies are fighting corruption here in Kenya? And we shall be looking at the agencies that have been tasked with this very important responsibility of helping, the government fight corruption here in the country, the likes of EACC, DPP, DCI. What have they been doing? And even recovery, the Assets Recovery Commission there. We shall be looking at how far have they been doing, and are Kenyans happy in regards to the work that these agencies have been doing. So that is what, Doctor, we shall be looking at.
Thank you very much. If you are happy with what the agencies are doing, talk to us. The telephone number is +254 795 638 145 Nairobi, Kenya. Miriam will take your call. Are you happy with the agencies, the fight against corruption in Kenya? Yesterday, the DPP opened up all what it is. But if this links to the system, if you have one angle of the system not working, but it works, the entire Kenya criminal justice system needs another hole. That's it. Bottom line, you can go to heaven at the end of WM. It doesn't matter for me. I want to tell you the truth. Anybody who has studied what systems are and what systems should do will tell you frankly that the entire Kenya criminal justice system needs an overhaul. The DPP did a great job last night. He opened us a way that we can handle things in the Department of Public Prosecution. But it will be frustrated somewhere at the court of Maraga. Maraga was busy smiling there. But are the courts able to uphold what the DPP has done? Are the courts able to show that we can fight corruption? That is the topic. If you are convinced that the courts are doing a good job, talk to us. This is our topic. This is our discussion this morning. Are you happy with the way the agencies that fight corruption are doing it in Kenya? That fight crime, economic crimes against Kenya. Are you happy? Are you happy with it? Are you able to tell another person that I am very happy with the agencies? Yes, the DPP put up a colorful ceremony last night. The achievements, which I will read here and show you so that Kenyans can they can themselves make judgment. Highlights of this include the reshaping of the ODPP to build a trusted 21st century organization with efficiency, accountability, and fairness. The DPP seeks to stamping its independence from any other interference. The documents include decision to change, plea bargaining, diversion, and the case management system of the DPP. Coming out of age and a new era of case management in Kenya. He changed that. It is going to change. The new things that he put in place will change the way you manage cases in Kenya. The single most important mandate for the prosecutors is to decide whether to charge, and if so, how to charge. Exercising the decision to charge correctly means that the cases that should go to court will go to court. Those that you can solve with other mechanisms can be solved with other mechanisms. And that will ensure great accountability and transparency of the prosecution process by informing victims, suspects, investigators before making a decision to charge. It is more or less like a British system that the DPP in Britain works on those models. That's very good. But we did not have a hitch. I want the panel today Miriam and my friend, Professor, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Masanga and Miriam and our viewers.
Yes, we want to look at, will this work? Will this latch in with others? Because we might be good, having very good things coming from the DPP, but we shall be bogged down in court. We shall be bogged down in prison. We shall be bogged down in the alternative mechanisms of justice. So, will this work? Yes, for now, it's a clear picture that the DPP is ready to fight, but in a system, to create a system of pre-bargain. Are you not encouraging? Pre-bargain is done mostly in developed countries. Honestly, and I want to be very honest, I am very happy with my young man, what he has done. He has brought up something that Kenya can move on from here. It lessens, you can see more cases in court. Those that are useless, wasting time. Because for now, we have Kidero, we have we have so many cases there. We have only seen one mafia, two mafia brought down. And that mafia who was brought down is Waluke and a group. That's a very good example. It has set a good example. But these systems, diversion is one of the ways in resolving cases without resort to full criminal proceedings. What does diversion mean? You look at a matter, someone has stolen chicken. Do you really proceed with chicken thief and fix the thief of chicken? Someone who has taken a chicken and someone who has taken 200 million. These documents will serve as inter-agency collaboration to achieve effective central case intake balanced with our need to maintain independence, said the DPP. They will maintain the independence. They will not have anybody who will tell them what to do and not to do. But can it work in Kenya? I'm reading all these things so that people can tell me those are the projections that the DPP wanted. And I want to bring them to the notes of all of you, let them be up there so that people can refer to them. When these things don't happen, then you can call them. Miriam, back to you. Are we in the right direction with the new approach towards how cases can be handled in Kenya? Thank you.
Well, thank you so much there, Doctor, for that introduction. Well, definitely, I think a lot is seen to be done right now after the new leaders in these heads in these very important institutions are put in place there, the EACC, the DPP, the DCI. We've seen a great working together, great synergy, and that should be encouraged so that these cases and the war against corruption is able to be won in this country. So we know that endemic corruption has threatened to sink the Kenyan model, and President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy and Kenyatta's soul to fight corruption is in no doubt. And in March 2015, he launched a robust anti-corruption war. And sometimes back last year, the president declared that he wanted the renewed fight against graft to be his legacy. And we know, should President Uhuru Kenyatta really succeed in slaying the dragon that is corruption in this country, that will go to the books of history in this country as one of the things that Kenyans would really live to remember him with. But for him to achieve that, he obviously requires these bodies to work hand in hand to enable that dream to come to fruition. And that is the DCI, that is the DPP, and that is the EACC. These agencies are very important. Should President Uhuru Kenyatta realize his dream in leaving a country that is less corrupt, than he found it. So, a lot has been done, but still a lot needs to be done.
Professor.
Yeah, this is a very good topic. And we are saying, are you happy with the agencies fighting corruption and economic crimes in Kenya? To some extent, yes. But the inviting which I see from day in, day out, tells me something that corruption has found itself with those agencies. There is no agency, I hope my viewers are listening to me, which will purport to fight corruption. It must be multi-sectoral agencies that we have to put our efforts together. How do we lose cases? We lose cases at investigation stage. If the director for criminal investigation has not investigated well, even if the measures the DPP is trying to come out, they will not work out because the case will be weak. So what is this? My take here is they should work together. The judiciary, the DPP, the director of criminal investigation. But I want to tell you, from what I have seen between the war between the director of criminal investigation and the director director for prosecution, public prosecution, corruption has entered there, and it tells you one to say, but once the DCIO has investigated, the cases don't go to court. Why? He sometimes say that the investigations are not enough. A case in point, there is someone in Kakuma refugee camp who killed somebody. The investigations were done. The people were taken to court. The director for prosecution went to court and terminated the case, and they said they can be charged. The next thing you hear, those people, they were Southern Sudan nationals. They found their ways back. So what I want to say here is, I will only be happy if the agencies fighting will do it in one, the way they started. But in the moment there's something which is not connecting that side.
Thank you very much. There's something that is leaking, not linking. There's something that is leaking, not linking, but leaking.
Mm.
And that is what I said, Professor, at the beginning of my show.
Mm.
As long as the criminal justice system of Kenya is not overhauled, all these performances that we bring, and this is let them take this as a very serious critic. Don't think I'm criticizing anybody. I'm criticizing the criminal justice system. What is the criminal justice system? The criminal justice system involves police, DPP, judicial courts. It involves prisons.
Correct.
It involves probation.
Correct.
It involves assessment officers. IOP, is it APOA? What is it called?
IPOA.
That is a criminal justice system. It involves, and let people take it from me, whether you like it or not. because I don't want to sugarcoat. We have a problem here because the criminal justice system is wrong.
It's not working. It's not coordinating.
It is full of obstacles. Can we bring out the obstacles? Yes. One of the obstacles of the criminal justice system in Kenya is sentencing, bail. Until you correct that, Mr. DPP, we have a long way to go. You have done very well to bring this out, but you must seek the parliament to change the way we handle thieves. Because you have seen of late, you go to court and the judge or the magistrate tells you, where is the affidavit? I cannot make a ruling on hearsay. What does that tell you? This magistrate does not live on a tree or in an underground submarine, that you don't see what is happening in Kenya. The case in question here is Babu Owino. The pictures showed Babu Owino pulling a pistol, shooting somebody, and they dragged this man, took him. They are not ambulance people. They took him to hospital. The magistrate, when releasing Babu Owino, said the following words. When the prosecutor said, you remember in Kibra, this man has got so many other cases pending in Kibra, where he beat up people here, where it, the judge said, where is the affidavit? Where I cannot write that on hearsay. So this judge here, and you know, the same cases had passed through the same court, the same chair. So until the court sits down to say, okay, Mr. X, Professor Nyari is coming today. But don't forget, Professor Nyari, there is something also here. So the judge who is presiding over your case can now say, Kumbe, you are here because you have made a mistake. But you remember on 22nd, you also beat up someone. There's another case in pending. So you have 6 cases pending. What type of person are you? Why am I giving you pay? That's how English law works. That is how the Commonwealth law works. So until there is coordination, I allowed what DPP Haji has done. This is very good. It's the beginning of good things to happen. But coordination must be there. The DPP does not have his own investigators.
Right.
The DPP relies on the DCI. Everywhere in the Commonwealth, the police arrest you. And let me teach Commonwealth law. Let's not pretend here that we are bringing something new. It's Commonwealth law. The Commonwealth law is very clear. Police have the right in the Commonwealth. If you are going to sentence people based on Commonwealth law, it is the police in our penal code in Kenya who are supposed to prosecute corruption. Am I wrong?
That is how it was, but it was changed for police motive.
They have tried to change, but it can't work.
That's why we are having problems.
Yes, you can try to change Damascus, but Damascus city remains the same. That Paul was on his way, did not arrive.
Yes.
Hey, Paul changed his way halfway.
Yes.
And they went back. So you can play about you see, one of the things that has amused me as a researcher, quiet researcher in all these things, and a very investigative. I sit down on my bed and I investigate very properly. One of them is people here in Kenya, even those people in high places, they don't read the law. They don't read their books. They don't read their constitution. The Constitution of the Republic of Kenya is very clear. Very, very clear. You can go around it. Then you will go to who? Even if you are the EACC, who is going to arrest those guys?
Yes, Doctor, a very good question, because Section 89, Section 4 of our Constitution states that only a police officer, after investigations, may arrest, draw a charge sheet, assign a charge sheet, and present a suspect in a court of law. And also Section 89, subsection 5, provides that it is only the magistrate who may decline to admit a charge sheet or require a charge sheet to be amended. Now, any amendment of a charge sheet by any other person or body, that will be the DCI and the DPP and all that, other than the investigative agency, can therefore easily lead to a mistrial, because once a charge sheet is amended, the accused person must be called to respond to it. So that's why these cases sometimes take way too long. So the police definitely have the mandate.
Hold it. And people here should not think we are mad people. What is being done here is very good, but watch. If you don't go back to the Constitution, and the DPP is a lawyer, go back to the Constitution and overhaul that. Tell the MPs to change. Have you seen that? Have you seen 89? 89 finishes you. 89, even if you run up to the moon, there is no way you'll escape Mutambai. What is my friend, Senior Mutambai? The IG. There is no way you can escape the IG and his men. Because the IG and his men are ingrained in the Constitution. It is them. The original charge sheet is the basis of the case.
Yes.
You can go to heaven and come back, but it is going to come to the same. The first thing that the police put on you at that counter and they give you the OB, that is it. If that is not followed up to the magistrate, the case cannot stand. And that is a fact everywhere in the Commonwealth. Let's not lie to each other that there is something new. No. Article 89 is the basis where police have powers.
And that is the institution to strengthen.
Yes. So if we want to change the way cases can happen in Kenya, let's overhaul Article 89. I am not on the side of anybody. I am now on the side of neutrality. Because all these people, the DPP is my friend. The DCI is a friend.
But if you don't tell your friend the truth, you will fail, Daktari.
If we don't overhaul Article 89, I swear, we shall have these quarrels. These quarrels will come, given the nature of how aggressively.
We have constitution, yeah.
And the
how aggressively, Miriam, how aggressively the DCI did a great job. He moved in to arrest people. Yes.
And there has been some quarrels, Doctor.
Shocker. He gave a shocker. People were shocked.
Someone who is frustrating the DCI. The truth must be said.
Let's not go there yet. The DCI, we are weighing.
Doctor, this is what the Constitution says about the role of the DCI. While the DCI is clear that his office can, in law, initiate an investigation and forward the file directly in court for prosecution in criminal cases, the DPP disagrees, and we've seen that, and insists that all files must pass through his office for approval. So actually, he can do that, the DCI.
They should not bring us this. No.
So I think the law itself is just too entangled. Is it?
No, listen. I am 64 years old.
Yes.
And I'm not going to tell a lie here.
The law seems to be entangled here, Doctor.
Yes.
He can insert and present it in the court.
He can.
Yes, these guys must.
In criminal cases.
Must go back, sit down on the table.
Yes.
And propose. And I would like to ask the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya to send an amendment not to confuse the war on corruption. Jermaine, let's be honest as people. We know what has been happening here. Until the DCI came in running with some people. People were stealing like hell. Give him a credit. Give Kinoti a credit. He came, he banked.
That's my man.
Listen first. He came and banked the people's heads. Yes, that's what the CDI, the CIDs are supposed to do. They must find a fault. They must find evidence. The DPP is to find whether that evidence will sustain a trial and a sentence a person. Please, don't me. At my age, I don't want this stupidity. I am not. David, I'm sorry. I tell the truth. Let's not play any cheap politics here. The law, I've told you already in Kenya, what is killing these agencies. And let people listen. Take this step, give it to the DCI. Take this step, give it to Nordin Haji. Both of them listen to me. I am not happy with this. No, I'm not happy with this headline. These are headlines. The DPP did a very great job last night to change the whole thing the way it works. It was a great job. But you wake up with the headline of this nature, which gives you more headache and a stomach running.
It's true.
You get the point, Miriam?
Yes.
It gives you more stomach. These are sister organizations. They all touch national security. Corruption is a national security matter. And therefore, they should be told that it is not their fault. It is not their fault that they are fighting. It is the fault of the Constitution. Someone must wake up and go to that court change that law. Someone must wake up, go to the parliament, the legal committee, change the law, give specific roles.
Specific.
Until you change the law.
They seem to be overlapping here, the responsibilities of these agencies.
Not even overlapping. There's a better word I'm going to use.
Duplicated.
You want me to use the word?
The roles are duplicated.
Duplicity. Thank you. Duplicity. And that creates what we call structure. You know what? Didn't I tell you yesterday that Kenya has got
structure challenges?
All the things you are seeing in Kenya, Matanga, I have been predicting them. As soon as I landed in Kenya, 16, 17 years ago, remember 2004, I saw the biggest problem of Kenya are structural obstacles, challenges. I can name them until Angel Gabriel carries me home. Look at the structures. You have now formed DPP. Then you have formed DCI. Then you have formed EACs. Have you seen? But you have left the Constitution of 2010 intact, giving the powers to the DCI also to go to court and file his own case. Am I wrong? Onyan?
You're not wrong. Those are structural challenges, true.
You know what it is causing now? Do you know you are in a conflict resolution like me?
Yes.
Structural conflict.
But of course, the offices are independent, but they're interdependent.
They're independent.
But they're interdependent as well.
Yes, and then if you don't coordinate them properly, they cause structural conflict, which is one of the worst conflicts among all the conflicts. Yes, because the one of resource, you can now distribute them.
Yes.
Resource conflict, like Somalia and Kenya, they are conflicting on resource.
Yes.
You can sit down and arbitrate. But the worst conflict that you can ever see is a structural conflict, which is among human beings and among structures. The police would not like to cede its powers. The DPP would not like to cede its power. The ESC would not like to cede its power. Therefore, they create ego. And the ego comes in and loses the meaning of a fight against corruption. If that is not good enough, tell me I have not said it. If I did not go to school, challenge me with an exam. Yes.
And Doctor, this the amendment bill, remember that we've been talking about here for quite some times now, that the Amendment Bill 2020 on the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act of 2003 that is now before Parliament and is set to be debated upon. They focus more of their attention on the EACC and some powers that the EACC shall be given, but there's no mention of these other institutions that you have said there. Their roles needs to be specific, because as it is now, there seems to be a confusion and an duplicity of the roles there and their their responsibilities, and so bringing all the time this tug will be between these institutions. But this bill only seeks to address, I think, the big spotlight is on the EACC and some powers that the EACC will have, but they fail to mention clearly, I think, the DCI office and the office of the OPP, the DPP there. So that it is. that's what we have now. So the ESCC.
Miriam, before you go to another point, how will the ESCC arrest you? Where do they keep them? Where do they keep them?
The ESCC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, is mandated to spearhead the fight against corruption and promote sound ethical standards and practices in Kenya. So it's not really meant to arrest. I think it still has to work with the DCI and police so that arrest can be made.
That is why I asked the question.
Yes.
East or west, you'll have to go back to
the
Kinoti.
to Kinoti and IG.
Why don't we look at this and let people who are watching our show take this as a positive criticism? Why don't you look at that same anti-corruption law, which is before Parliament? Change it. If you want the EACC to investigate, cut EACC, give them their own investigators, arresting officers. Still, whether you want to arrest, where will you detain people for over a week?
Police.
You don't have access to prison until you go through police. The law is very clear. The EACC cannot arrest a person and dump him in the industrial area. It is the Kenyan police under the DCI Act that can now finally say thank you very much. That's why the police escorts them to the court. And then from the court, the police hands you over to prison. And when you are now in prison, you are in the Department of Correctional Services. You are no longer in the hands of the police unless you have another charge. Now, when you have another charge and the magistrate has released you there, police again rearrest you there. Now, the police don't take you back to industrial area. They take you back to CPS. Charge you afresh. They don't take you to EACC. Even if there was a corruption case, the EAC men will just say, Tafuta nani? So, East or West, Kinoti and his department are still vital.
And you cannot ignore them.
Very, very vital. As long as the Kenyan Constitution still stands, Kinoti and his department are the same.
All right. So Doctor, until there, I think we all agree. So perhaps the point that brings a bit of confusion is that part that also allows Kinoti to be able to directly file in court for prosecution in criminal cases, because now the DPP feels now you're coming into my turf. And that is the problem. That's where the problem lies. So how can this be solved?
Miriam, let me just be very honest with you.
Yes.
We don't need to go over
there is one case which has brought out this. The DCIO, they have been connecting with the director for prosecution very well.
For the last over 2 years, they've been doing great.
Very well. Until a particular case, because I have said here, corruption fights back. The DPP has investigated, has identified the director for prosecutions. The person is not going to court more than 3 times. That is how Kinoti made use of that and took that person to court. And then the war had to exploit. I entirely agree with Dr. Masanga 100% that we must address that part of the Constitution.
So should Kinoti be...
The person who...
Go back to the Constitution.
Yes.
And you'll see this does not darken. And let the people who are hearing this. And I believe my production team is recording. Record this and let that tape go to Kinoti and hide. Yeah, because we are helping to fight corruption. It is not their problem. And there is a new man in the parliament, my friend. I know him. Okiende Amoro. I know him. I'm going to take this step to him and say there is something wrong with your law. Any lecturer, any teacher, any professor, any doctor who has read books that are behind here, these ones, yes, that you can only pick and quote without looking there. Medium has quoted for you article 89. Very clear.
Yes.
It doesn't speak of murmuring left. No, it's straightforward.
Oh, yes.
There is no way you can get a criminal in Kenya without police.
Yes. If you don't want
a person to court in Kenya without a police record,
Has to be a charge sheet. Has to be.
That's why the DPP had a case. That's why we supported the DPP on the case of Mwiru. Mwiru cannot be arrested by JSC. Mwiru is supposed to be arrested by police. Because Mwiru, Deputy Justice Mwiru, committed a crime. And that crime is arrestable by police, not JSC. They have sat on that thing until now. We don't know whether Mwiru is innocent or not. She is guilty. She is guilty. She should have been arrested, charged, and she resigns. Because if you go to a hotel in Nakuru and you bite your husband's ear and you're a deputy chief justice, who is it JSC that arrests you?
Is it the police?
Is it the police?
But did the husband go and record on the OB? Because also that matters. If he went to report.
No, the police were right. So the DPP was denied a chance to charge Deputy Justice Mwiru on pretense of this man called Maraga. And the court, they colluded with another man called Orengo from Siaya. That Orengo Senate, who says one corruption is good here, another one is bad here, then he comes back. You know, don't forget Orengo. I'm coming to that later. What he did to Raila, I've not forgotten. Yes, I've not forgotten yet. me and him, when I had him talk about Uhuru last night, where you have rekindled something that I'd forgotten. It is better we be in the unit.
Handshake,
no,
handshake.
It is better we be in the unit. You know me, I'm waiting.
Handshake.
We be in the unit.
Handshake.
No, if they bring this, we can also go. Don't insult Uhuru Kenyatta when me, I've told you.
Go where? Doctor, we need a united Kenya. So
no,
yes.
But if you insult Uhuru Kenyatta and you think we are going to watch and respect you, no way. Me, no. He doesn't pay me, but I love him as a friend. So if a man comes to insult him, we can go back to the 20s. We can go. Don't worry. We can go back. We shall defeat them.
No, Kenya, we're moving forward and we just want a unity of purpose, and that's why President Uhuru Kenyatta, it is said to have challenges, but we have to stay focused.
As we move forward, don't insult Uhuru Kenyatta. Don't.
What did he say? I didn't watch the whole thing, Doctor.
Let me take this to one. Let me tell you. I've done it on KBC this morning. So 21 million people were listening. If that is the case, respect the president. Lakini kama wewe unaanza kutukana president, tutakutukana tena mbaya. Some of us have packages of tukana. Tukana package. One man made the whole. Whoa. Don't try.
What did he say?
What did he say? The only small part I saw, he was saying President Uhuru Kenyatta should be open for consultation. I didn't see the rest, so maybe the rest was not okay. I didn't see. Okay.
Can I let me, Miriam?
Yes.
Let me send you
Okay.
the tape. I intercept everything. I have an equipment. What you talk in the parliament, I can bring it back. What you talked 10 years ago. Now hear it from today.
All right. It's on file.
Orengo went overboard. Orengo 5 years ago, 2 years ago, last year, he went public and said he had 5 hours stretching legs and relaxing with the president. Didn't he tell us that? Miriam, he told us, you read it in a headline, that I had 5 good hours with President Uhuru Kenyatta. It was printed on the newspaper. Now, what has gone wrong?
Democracy. Now, democracy, doctor. It's just, yeah, but they'll get it right.
First, a Kenyan politician, you are in for a rude shock.
Democracy.
No, it's not a democracy. And while we are here,
Yes.
we are addressing this constitution. Why the DPP and the DCI are having a problem?
Yes.
Is not they are making. It is the Constitution of Republic of Kenya.
True.
That must be cleaned. 2, why the revenue allocation is busting and causing me sleepless nights and the fights with Mr. Professor Onyati and others. It's the Constitution of Republic of Kenya. It created warlords. It created warlords, political warlords. You balkanize the state. You balkanize the country. You put a country in 2 tribes. What can I say, leo?
Yeah, man.
Also,
Now, what do you see blowing now?
yes.
If you don't handle it quickly, stop it. It can lead to a crisis. Another problem called structural challenge. Because instead of having appointed governors, you went to elect governors of tribes. Have you seen where you went wrong?
Yes.
Instead, you elected the governors of tribes. You gave Joho, the governor, a tribe from the coast. You gave Nanok, the Turkana. He can manipulate them the way he wants. You gave Nyoro, the governor of Kiambu. He can tell my people. Have you seen where we are going wrong? What is happening in Kenya today is the same as what happened in Uganda in 1966. And I'm telling you, you are not very far from it. If these money things are not solved quickly, you can easily get a very big crisis. Where King Mutesa said, we all Ugandans leave Kampala. Hey, that's what he told us. I was alive. In fact, I was 11 years old.
Leave Kampala.
To leave Kampala, yes. That the Kampala city is a city for Baganda only. Therefore, the rest of us, Watokotoko, leave. Choco, leave.
But I don't think we'll come to that.
Kabarega in Bunyoro also say Bunyoro belongs to us. So let Karuba to where oil is now. You know, Bazungu had known already there was oil. But the Bazungu kept a secret. They never told the Africans there was oil. Did you know that there was oil in Turkana?
No.
You grew up knowing there was Turkana is a place where we throw bad people. But under there, Bazungu with their geological equipment, the one that sees the ground, they had known there was oil. Actually, it is the French who knew there was oil and they kept it a secret. Total Oil had already done the geological maps of the Republic of Kenya and Uganda. They knew there was oil in the Albertine region. So Kabaka in Uganda in 1966 told us, the rest of us tribes, this Matanga shouting here, to leave Kampala. You can imagine, Miriam, we have been paying taxes. My father had been paying taxes since 1928. My grandfather paid the taxes since 1902. Yes. Another grandfather of mine who produces my mother was the chief food, the best coordinator of Kakungulu.
I thought you said tax collector.
That's why there is this leadership quality in me. Don't you see it, Miriam? It is in me. Everywhere, in school, here, there is that leadership quality of striking hard, of striking Ocampo down, of striking that Somali man down. There is that quality to lead the people. I don't want to tell you a lie.
Doctor, your Pan-African brother said Kenya is an open society. That is President Uhuru Kenyatta. So he understands that as much as we're having all these challenges right now, but that is also part of the growth of our democracy. We may not be able to agree in everything, but they'll fight it out as long as it's for the good of the country. At the end of the day, they'll find a solution.
President Uhuru Kenyatta must know an open society killed the Roman Empire. Now listen here. And then are you not breathing properly now?
We'll just progress forward. We can't progress backwards.
Yeah, there's exchange views.
Yes.
You know why the Roman Empire collapsed?
Too much democracy.
Professor, you know it.
Yes.
Too much democracy killed what?
The entire empire.
We only have enough around here.
Yes, too much democracy killed Rome. And it is a saying everywhere. I am happy the president said, Katonda ayamba abeyamba. I don't know what to say.
You're speaking in tongues, Doctor. Please help us understand.
God helps those
who help themselves.
Don't take yourself to a disease. And then you say, God is going to help me. When you are on that hospital bed, you are again going to cry, God help me. Yet you took yourself to a disease. God has a lot of duties. He's now maybe in Hawaii. He has to travel to Singapore. He has to go to South America. He has to go to Brazil. He has to come back to South Africa, Johannesburg, where people refused antivirus, antiviral pipes that can pour this water here, be medicine. They said there was no AIDS. You have seen what is going on in South Africa now? May God help. God forbid. Yeah. Let's talk about tuambiane ukweli. Wachana hii ya
Sasa tupate ukweli ya DCI na DPP, Doctor. Here there is a problem. How can you identify it, and perhaps what are some of the solutions we can put forth so that anybody listening can take note?
DCI and the DPP have no quarrel. The quarrel is in the Constitution. The quarrel is in the criminal justice system, which must be overhauled. Believe me or not, and quote me, can you repeat it nicely so that they hear? Because I'm already, I've over-lectured. You cannot, even if DPP makes a lot of display of these chats, he's going to be frustrated.
Because he needs the information from the DCI.
Exactly.
For him to go prosecute in court.
Maraga, who was smiling there.
For him to go to Maraga, he needs DCI to get him something.
Maraga, who is there? No, wait. And that Maraga and that Harvey, Nelson Harvey, these are the most dangerous creatures that Kenya has. Maraga frustrates you in the court. Harvey frustrates you in the court. And Harvey was proudly telling people yesterday in that ceremony that don't worry, as you bring them, I will be on the defense to shoot them down. In Britain, Commonwealth law is like this. An advocate of the High Court will come to you and tell you, David, it is true you stole yesterday. Tell me the truth. I'm your lawyer. I'm like your doctor. I will help you to see how I can mitigate. In Kenya and Uganda, the advocate tells you, bring me 5 million. Tutakutana hapo Karen. There is a place in Karen where this money is exchanged. You see all lawyers seated in that place. I don't want to spoil the business of this guy. Let me not mention the name. Take a camera, a hidden camera. Take a hidden camera. Take a hidden camera to that place in Karen, Miriam. You will come with so many things that you cannot even explain on this TV. A lawyer in Kenya will tell you I will win this case by talking to Justice Odunga. Frankly, yeah, I was knocked out. So Miriam, don't say I have never gone. I was knocked out. I was shocked. Oraro, Mr. Oraro, whom I went with to the Hague, opposing ICC, came and told me I'm wrong when I was looking for an envelope, so that I removed that envelope from Kenya, Miriam.
Senior counsel.
Is this the criminal justice system? He came. In fact, in court, I asked him, are you not the same Oraro on the first day when they took all Kenyatta, Ruto, Major Ali, Muzaura, and so on? Were you not with me seated on the same bench in the hotel eating coffee and a mandazi? He said, it's true, it was me. But he came in the court and told me, I will defeat you. Not by reasoning, by market mechanisms of Changanya 5. Right. I was Changani out.
Vile Sonko
you know what? They did not want
Sonko style.
You are talking so that medium Kasimoro one I'm gonna leave. Listen to that. So that DPP can understand the problem we have. My case was against Justice Waki, who is a judge in appeal court, a sitting judge. The judges went back and sat down and excused their friend. And to please me, they also excused me. Then they left. They thought they had finished me. They didn't know I had a partner, a Kenyan, who was with me when we were filing a case. They were shocked when the case reappeared. Walipata shoka. Sasa niambie, nilifanya kitu mbaya wapi? What wrong did I do? So DPP, when filing these things, must understand there is roadblock. There are several roadblocks up there. And the medium, those roadblocks are going to be dangerous. They will not, they have to go back, ask for resources, write a new law under Article 89 of the Constitution will remove all this suspicion between the DPP and the DCI. That is my submission.
All right, thank you so much. So now, Professor, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions there is the National Prosecuting Authority in Kenya, and the Constitution mandates it to prosecute all criminal cases in the county. And also up there earlier, this conversation we had about the DCI, who while it is DCI is clear that his office can do in law, and it is allowed to initiate an investigation and forward the file directly in court for prosecution in criminal cases. So we see DCI is given the same mandate as that of the ODPP, and that brings a bit of confusion sometimes. So how can this part be rectified so that there's more clarity in terms of the responsibilities in these very important institutions, and there's no overlapping of responsibility that sometimes bring what we see now in the front pages of the newspaper this morning?
Yes, Miriam. This mistake came into being when we enacted the 2010 Kenyan Constitution. All prosecution cases were under the Attorney General. And when we gave the prosecution powers to the Director of Prosecution and making the office independent, this is where the mistake was done. And the only way when a mistake has been done, a time has come for us to audit the Constitution. 2010, has it worked or not worked? Which areas which have not worked, so that we need to tighten them. In fact, from 2010 up to a few days ago, the Director for Prosecution has been doing his criminal investigation, has been doing his work. There is something which has happened, and nobody is ready to convince me before we even learned that Constitution. There is something. The Director for Criminal Investigation and the Director for Public Investigation, they have been darlings. What has happened? 100% corruption has penetrated to one of the harms, and we need to fix it. And the only way to fix it is to address the Constitution and remove that ambiguity. If it is the Director for Prosecution who has got that powers to prosecute, let it be. And the Director for Criminal Investigation, let him just be charged that you investigate matters. Once you have investigated your matters, you have closed your file, and it's over to the Director for Public Prosecution. If he sees that you can succeed with the conviction, yes. If he sees there's some loopholes which need to be tightened, so be it. So we must address that part of the Constitution, to be very honest.
All right. Thank you so much. And of course, for the war against corruption in the country to succeed, there must be synergy in all players involved in the criminal justice system. And for this war to really succeed, the offices of the National Police Service, together with the Director of Criminal Investigations, Director of Public Prosecutions, the Attorney General's Office, and the judiciary must work to complement each other's mandate. These offices are all independent, but inter-independent for purposes of delivering justice, and are regulated by the law under Section 75 of our Constitution. Doctor, can you end it for us?
Thank you very much, viewers, wherever you are in the world, especially Kenya. I want to make a takeaway which production team can count for me. Thank you very much, Kenyans. Time has come for us, and we want to thank the DPP for clarification, for case management, for strengthening the ability of the office of the DPP. What was unveiled yesterday will go a long way in the history of Kenya for case management. I equally want to thank the director of DCI for the good work that he has done as far as corruption is concerned. He came, he saw, he conquered some people. He made people feel that it is very bad to steal. Both the DPP and the DCI must work together as a family. There is nowhere in a world where you can arrest a human being without the help of the police. There is nowhere in the world that you can take somebody to prison without the OB number, which must originate from the DCI and the police. And therefore, there is also nowhere in the world whether you can successfully win a case without the help of the judicial systems that understand the problems of the country. What ails Kenya is the criminal justice system. It is not the DPP or DCI fighting or EACs. It is the criminal justice system that is fighting everybody. It's a wrong criminal justice system. We have obstacles. Kenyan constitution has created obstacles. Until those obstacles are removed, like Article 89, where you find conflicting who should take to court, who should arrest, who should investigate, those things must be clear in order the war against corruption can be won. It is not individuals. It is the vice of corruption fighting back. Because corruption is embedded within the criminal justice system. You can arrest prisoners, take them to court, but the court releases them. You can get good evidence, somebody shooting someone in a nightclub, but the court says he did not shoot. So it is not a blame game. I want to call upon the agencies, the DPP, the DCI, the EACC, to work as a team, to deliver the much needed prosecution and conviction of the criminals that feast on the money of the people of Kenya. Let's bring down more monsters who have killed this country through siphoning of money that is meant for projects. Let's not fight wars that are initiated by the same monsters. Let's make it abundantly clear that there is no room for people who steal corruptly, who commit economic crimes to escape. Finally, let the Parliament of Kenya look at bail conditions, which cases are bailable and which ones are not bailable. You cannot steal money on Friday, go to court on Monday, and enjoy money in Seychelles or Mauritius or Mombasa or Zanzibar on Tuesday with your family. For corruption to end, let's look at all those things. Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you. who listen to this tape. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much. And just before we leave, confirmed cases right now on COVID-19 in Kenya stands at 18,581. The death toll is 299. Recoveries is at 7,903. And just another news here that I think is very important on page 6 of the Standard newspaper. Badi to build 24 health facilities to fight virus. And Nairobi Metropolitan Services will build 24 health facilities in informal settlements to contain the COVID-19 pandemic. Director General Mohamed Badi has said. Badi said the facilities to be built in Korogosho, Kibra, Mathare and Mukuru slums will be completed by September. So that is our latest there in terms of COVID-19 and what the government is doing. We shall see you on our next show. Thank you so much for watching.
Before you take off, one thing that I want to say, we forgot, we started differently. This newspaper, I want to tell people that the handshake is the best thing that Kenya can have. Please, 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 if you have a hidden agenda, you want to solve it in your bedroom with your wife, but don't destroy the handshake. Yes, it has brought us unity. Some of us could not talk to some people. We now talk to some people.
Yes.
Some of us cannot eat food in the Kodeli. We eat food in the Kodeli. Some of us, yes, Kodeli was out of sense.
What is
Some
that?
of us could not even stop in Kisumu. I stop in Kisumu. Some of us could not go to Nyeri, Uranga, Keno. We now go there. Please, let's keep the handshake. Let's support President Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga in their quest for uniting Kenya. There is no other route. Reconciliation, accountability, truth-telling, restitution,
Yes.
reparation will lead to healing. If those are missing, we shall go Sudan way. Thank you. I love
peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.